better team overall. I think they have more experience as a team this time of year. Obviously, I recognize that Tom Brady has more experience than anybody this time of year, but as a team, and I think they're going to be a tougher defense than what Tom's been playing against for most of the last month plus.
The next one involves the Ravens. And here we go. The Ravens will be dangerous the rest of the way now that they've won a playoff game. Is that an overreaction?
Yeah, this was such a relief. You could see it on Lamar Jackson's face and hear it in that post-game interview he did with Lisa Salters. I mean, this mattered to him. He knew what was being said about him, and I think the team knew that too. The team loves him, and I think this is a team that feels very good about the way it's operating right now. The defense is healthier than it's been in a while. The run game is dominant. I think they're going to be a problem.
All right, one more, and this one has a lot of people interested. Deshaun Watson will be starting for a different team next year. Overreaction?
When I wrote it on Sunday night, I said overreaction, but the last couple of days of reporting have kind of made me wonder about it. I still think it's more likely than not that he stays in Houston just because of how difficult it'll be to move him. But the Texans have work to do to mend that relationship, and if they don't get that work done successfully, this could continue to be an ugly situation into the summer.
I'm intrigued. Meantime, one of the great players in Texans history, Andre Johnson, the receiver who was known to be very quiet during his career, just unprompted, posted this yesterday. If I'm Deshaun Watson, I stand my ground. The organization is known for wasting players' careers. Since Jack Easterby walked into the building, nothing good has happened in the organization. It's pathetic. And DeAndre Hopkins, who was drafted by Houston and then traded last year, tweeted on top of that, when Dre speaks, listen. So this is fascinating to me. I'll say it again. When a quiet man speaks, you should listen. And Andre Johnson has always been very quiet. So, Dominique, you made a really fascinating analogy earlier today in which you described Andre Johnson saying this basically to Deshaun Watson and what it made you think of.
Oh, yeah, it seems like Andre Johnson is the ghost of Christmas future for Deshaun Watson, letting him know what his future is like. And I'm not sure that they can fix things in Houston, but this could be the difference. Deshaun Watson is going to be great no matter what, but this could be the difference from going to the Hall of Fame or going in the Ring of Honor. Like in your stadium, if you are a great Texan, they'll put you in the Ring of Honor. If you are a great football player, quarterback specifically, that wins Super Bowls and gets MVP trophies, then you go in the Hall of Fame. And nothing that's happened at Houston since he's been there suggests that this organization is going to do that for him. And then for them to just kind of disregard the work that should have been done to find a GM and just kind of pick a guy based on a relationship, that to me, that doesn't feel like something that you should have confidence in. I think he has some leverage and some power in this situation. Even if he doesn't choose to hold out, he can still just being there and being the quarterback and the face of the franchise and the team leader and being disgruntled, like that will sink a team. So they need to either make him feel better about all this or they need to move him somewhere else. And I hope for his sake he moves somewhere else and has the career that his talent deserves.
Well, D. Wood, here's what I find fascinating. Taking Watson out of the discussion, if you were to name the two greatest players in Texans history, they are Andre Johnson and J.J. Watt. Well, Andre Johnson is now tweeting at him that he should hold his ground, and J.J. Watt walked off a field apologizing to Watson for ruining or wasting one of his seasons. D. Wood, if you're Deshaun right now, what's going through your mind?
Well, Greeny, listen, player empowerment is at its highest peak, that we've seen in NFL, I think, ever. And if you're Deshaun Watson, yes, you just signed a new extension for the Houston Texans, but you're in a clear position of power right now. And I think what Andre Johnson basically saying, like, look, dude, you're 25 years old. You need to control the narrative of your career. We've seen a lot of players, whether it be in the NFL, NBA, other sports, that are doing that. They're flexing their muscle. And I think Deshaun Watson need to do that as well before he wastes it away in a wasteland in Houston.
Well, I will say, Dan Graziano, to you, my insider, you sort of perked up my ears at the beginning of this conversation when you said on Sunday you thought it was an overreaction. And the reporting you've done since then has maybe altered your thinking. What can you tell us?
Well, just asking the question, is the relationship repairable, and getting the answer, I don't think so, from multiple people. I mean, it makes you, look, it's January, right? There's time. And it's possible that the Houston Texans could take steps that convince Deshaun Watson that things are going to be different. But I mean, the Andre Johnson tweet is not nothing. I mean, this is a guy, as you mentioned, you never hear from. And he's saying this organization is known for ruining players' career or wasting players' careers. I mean, you have to pay attention to that if you're Watson. And that puts Houston Texans in a situation where they have to do a lot of convincing of him that that's not true. And it doesn't sound like he trusts them.
Look, a year ago yesterday, this team had a 24-0 lead over the Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium, and look at all the things that have happened since. And while I will not argue against all the things that we are saying, trading DeAndre Hopkins, there does seem to be so much dysfunction. It is worth throwing in, Neek, very quickly. Over the last 10 seasons, they've won the division 6 times. The only teams that have won more in that stretch are the Patriots and the Packers. So it hasn't been all that bad in Houston. Is that right?
No, I certainly agree with you that it hasn't been all that bad in Houston, but they haven't matched what Deshaun Watson is bringing them. And I think the straw that broke the camel's back in this situation was the way that they kind of bungled and kind of showed a bit of bias and no concern for Deshaun Watson in the hiring that they just did, disregarding the search firm. Like, to me, that's what concerns me, is the process of decision-making. That's a problem there for Deshaun Watson. So I'm not in the building, but if Deshaun Watson says he wants out, and then a guy like Andre Johnson says that he should kind of hold his ground, then that is what I'm responding to more than I'm responding to their record or their division wins over the past several years.
Yeah, to be clear, me too. And so we will keep a very close eye on that, and obviously Graziano will be reporting on it for us. Meanwhile, coming up now, because we are on some level all still 12 years old, it is time for our wood-based pun of the week. D. Wood, every single week we seem to change the name of your segment.
This is knock on wood, damn it.
Taking them to the woodshed.
Greedy, how is that possible?
Firewood.
Your soul is mine.
This week it is the wood pile. Chopped wood.
Excuse me?
Sour wood. The lights shine brightest, of course, in Hollywood. Is wood-fired turkey. Damien Woody is going to call someone turkey.
Perfect distillation of how stupid TV is, and I love it.